Good evening and thank you for joining us. The Thunder Bay District Health Unit is changing the way it informs the public about healthcare facility outbreaks.
Beginning today, respiratory outbreaks, including COVID-19 and gastrointestinal outbreaks, will no longer be announced through media releases or on social media. Basilios Bellos is following the story and joins us live in studio with the details. Basilios.
Thanks, Ryan. The public can still find all the information regarding facility outbreaks on the health unit's website, with officials once again forecasting higher numbers of infection as we near the colder winter months. The local health unit is toning down how it lets the community know about facility outbreaks.
Our messaging is consistent. It's always on the website. You'll always know what facilities are in outbreak.
On Monday, the Thunder Bay District Health Unit stopped issuing media releases and social media posts alerting the public of facility outbreaks. There are currently 4 COVID-19 outbreaks at facilities in the district. That list includes Unit 2B at the Thunder Bay Regional Hospital and the 7th floor at Hogarth Riverview Manor. There's another COVID outbreak at the Chartwell Glacier Ridge Retirement Residence and one at Chartwell Thunder Bay on Arundel Street. There was also an outbreak at St. Joseph's Hospital, but that one has now been declared over. Outbreak information is still on the health unit's website, with infectious diseases manager Karen Badagelli believing it offers more for the public.
That our website is completely up to date and it has all of the facilities that are actually in current outbreak status. And it also includes other information as it relates to respiratory or enteric illnesses, and felt that that was the most effective measure to focus the public to the website.
There are different definitions for outbreaks depending on the illness. A COVID outbreak is declared when a facility has 2 or more cases with a common link within a 7-day period. Respiratory outbreaks are defined as 3 or more cases with a common link within 48 hours, or 2 cases with 1 being lab confirmed. And as we near the colder months, Badagelli is expecting a rise in infections.
We don't seem to see a season of respiratory illness per se anymore because it does exist throughout the summer. However, we do expect the numbers to increase as we enter the winter season, especially when other viruses are more likely to circulate.
Badagelli concludes by encouraging the community to keep up with both their COVID and flu shots. Basilios Bellos, TBT News.
Thunder Bay is one of the few municipalities in Ontario to hit its provincial housing target for 2023. That means the city is in line to receive funding from the province that will be used to entice future housing development. Thunder Bay saw 167 housing units started so far this year, beating the target of 161. Most of those are multi-unit residences. The city has strived to make development easier in recent years, largely by loosening zoning rules. Ontario has directed Thunder Bay to build 2,200 new homes by 2031. That will be a much stiffer challenge than hitting the 2023 target, as the city will need to hold a pace of 275 new units a year to meet that goal.
We now know the names of the 3 victims of a fatal fire in Deer Lake First Nation on October 29th. The chief and council have announced funeral arrangements for the 3 men who died in the blaze. Photos of the 3 victims have been shared on social media, identifying them as 33-year-old Kyle Meekus, 37-year-old Thomas Meekus, and 36-year-old Jamie Meekus. Several other people were also injured in the fire, including one with serious injuries. A service will be held tomorrow afternoon at St. Andrew's United Church in Sioux Lookout. The 3 caskets will then be flown home to Deer Lake on Wednesday. The Ontario Fire Marshal's office continues to investigate the cause of the fatal blaze.
Missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls were on the minds of local residents last night as the Thunder Bay Police Service held its annual Tree of Hope ceremony. This year, due to technical difficulties, only a small tree is being lit up, but the sentiment remains the same. The project honors thousands of missing and murdered Indigenous women across Canada, each bulb representing a different person. Constable Charlene Bordeaux kickstarted the project back in 2019. Now, 4 years later, she says there are more than 20 police services and detachments that take part. She now plans to take the project to Parliament.
It's not just me, it's everybody who's attended here, and it's every police service in this country that is going to light trees in memory and honor of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. We're going to be partnering with Patty Haidu. She's promised that we're going to take this to Parliament Hill. and we're going to challenge other police services and other provinces. I would like to challenge Manitoba next.
I want to thank Charlene Boudreau for her advocacy. This is where the Tree of Hope started here in Thunder Bay, and we should be really proud of her.
The Trees of Hope project used to feature red lights on the large spruce trees in front of the Balmoral police station. But the light strands needed to be replaced often, and the only safe way to do that was with a fire rescue aerial ladder, which isn't practical any longer.
Ontario's police watchdog is investigating a sexual assault allegation against a Thunder Bay police officer. The police service reported the claim to the Special Investigations Unit on October 29th after the assault allegedly took place that same day. No information about the allegation has been released. The SIU investigates interactions between police and civilians that result in serious injury, death, or allegations of sexual assault.
Development is booming in Marathon and Biktigong-Nishnabeg.
The two neighboring communities are now preparing for the impact of a new palladium copper mine that it could have on the area. Lee Noonan has more.
It's a wooded hillside right now, but as Generation PGM's proposed palladium copper mine inches closer to becoming reality, the town of Marathon and Biktigong-Nishnabeg are already preparing for the population boom it could bring. Biktigong CEO Debbie Boucher says there's more than $100 million in development projects happening there now, largely prompted by the plans for the new mine.
We have about 1,200 members, about 500 living community. And we knew that there was an opportunity for our members to come back for employment, but we didn't have the facilities to be able to accommodate homes.
Development in Biktigong includes long-needed facilities like a new elementary school and water treatment plant, as well as new facilities including a lifestyle center, a cultural center, a rink, and major improvements to the powwow grounds. And of course, new housing. 6 units are under construction, 10 lots are being developed, and planning has begun for a new subdivision.
They were all components of building a community that would give our members the opportunity to do anything, from recreation to learning to social services. But we have to line it up so that when the mine is operational, we are ready for our members to come back and reside here.
In Marathon, a new 30-unit Indigenous housing complex has started taking applications for residency, and a 50-unit nonprofit housing complex is slated for completion next year. Those buildings will address existing needs, but the town is also looking ahead to an influx of new residents if the mine goes ahead. They have prepared a 105-lot subdivision for construction and are actively soliciting developers.
Am I going to say that there's going to be 105 homes built right away? Probably not, Lee. But the reality is it'll be a phased program. So if there's 10 or 20 homes needed, the developer will come in and develop 10 or 20 or 30 homes. But the site will be developed accessible for the whole 105. If somebody wants to come in and develop 105 homes, that's great. I'm encouraging anybody out there listening to come and give us a call.
Both communities are excited about the economic and population growth the mine could support, but recognize that not all mine workers will move to the area. Biktigong is developing programs aimed at countering some of the harms they fear could come with camps of temporary workers.
Could it potentially bring more drugs? Could it potentially bring people who aren't familiar with our community, who maybe don't have that interaction with our people in a good way? So what are the things that we need to do to try to protect their interests?
Lee Noonan, TBT News.
We're learning of new issues with what's known as de-streaming for grade 9 students in Ontario.
A significant number of principals across the province say their schools aren't getting enough support. Siobhan Morris reports.
It's a project educators believe in, eliminating streaming in high school. All kids in grade 9 and 10 go to the same kind of class. No choice between hands-on applied courses and the more theoretical academic ones.
The problem, which is often the case, is in the implementation.
Advocacy group People for Education surveyed more than 1,000 high school principals across the province.
More than half of them said there aren't enough supports for this. They're struggling to implement it. Fewer of them this year than the year before were able to lower class sizes and provide professional development.
Of the principals who answered the survey, 96% say they need more personnel for de-streaming. 93% need more help with professional development and teacher training, and 85% need a hand to drive down the size of classes.
When you've got 33, 34 kids in a class with incredibly diverse needs, it makes it hard to challenge all of the students appropriate to their level.
There are other considerations with kids with special needs in de-streamed classrooms.
Should there be an educational assistant in the class? Should there be someone else to provide those extra supports?
Education Minister Stephen Lecce's office says the province has hired more than 900 educators this year to help with de-streaming, investing almost $104 million more. But principals also say their staff aren't getting enough time to prep curriculum. A new English curriculum was introduced at the end of June to be ready for school in September.
We certainly don't put a quarter in a machine and expect a lesson to come out. They're very individualized to the classroom to make sure that everybody has what they need.
Annie Kidder says it's hard to predict what effect a lack of support now could have on students later.
We may not find out for another couple of years. So I think for now, we have to listen to the people, the principals and the teachers,
to make sure kids have what they need to succeed.
And that was Siobhan Morris reporting. The Children's Aid Society in Thunder Bay is looking for more people to become alternative care providers for youth. That was the message at a recent open house at the CCAS office. Alternative care providers are similar to foster parents, but with more flexible options, ranging from weekend care to full adoption. The volunteers offer supports for children and youth in times of family hardship. The open house was to provide those who are interested with a chance to connect with some of those involved in the program already. Children's Services Manager Michael Baldy hopes to draw in any and all who are willing to help.
We are looking for volunteer supports, and it could be something as simple as facilitating transportation for a child or youth to and from school, and adoptions. So there's so many different platforms and opportunities for community members to really connect with our agency and provide supports and services to children and youth who really need it.
Mirabelli adds they're trying to fill the void left by some who are retired longtime caregivers. He hopes the open house will help get that message out.
Tim Hortons has launched its first ever Holiday Smile Cookie campaign. Starting today and running through the rest of the week, customers can buy the festive treats, knowing the proceeds will go to a local charity. The new campaign features a white chocolate sugar cookie with red and green sprinkles baked in and, of course, hand-decorated with a smile. In Thunder Bay, the proceeds will be split evenly between the Shelter House and the Tim Hortons Foundation camps. The regular Smile Cookie campaign back in May raised more than $120,000 for Toys for Tots and George Jeffries. Local Tim's franchise owner Brent Prep says while he's not sure how this new holiday campaign will do, he knows the Shelter House and the Tim's camps have a major local impact.
Tim Hortons Children's Foundation Camp has been around since the 70s, supports thousands of kids locally and across the country. We send underprivileged kids to camp where they learn new skills, get more confidence. And then obviously with homelessness all across Canada, it's in the media all the time, we figured the Shelter House would be a perfect place to donate the money and see if we can get people off the street, and especially in the wintertime coming. It's getting cold and they're going to need some protection from that.
The Holiday Smile Cookie campaign runs until Sunday.
Mount Baldy has opened up for the 2023-2024 ski season, making it the first in Ontario to do so.
Only a portion of the hill was open this weekend, but that didn't stop eager skiers and snowboarders who were excited to hit the slopes again. Jessica Clement reports.
Local skiers and snowboarders were in for a treat this weekend as Mount Baldy opened up for the 2023-2024 season. Co-owner Daniel Cardis says it's thanks to a lot of hard work that they've been able to open.
We made snow with that little opportunity we had. It hasn't really been cold. I mean, it's still warm right now, and we just took advantage of the nights that were cold and hammered out some snow and made it the first ski resort in Ontario to be open.
Currently, only the Bunny Hill is open, and Cardis says because of the warmer temperatures and rainy weather, he's not sure when they'll be able to open up all the runs yet.
Generally at Mount Baldy, it's a lot colder, which is a bonus. That's why we have a little bit more snow here than anywhere else, but we're hoping it's not going to melt. We should be good for next weekend 100%, and then we have a couple piles that we made just like a reserve, just if we needed it. If it did melt this week, then we could push it around, make another weekend next weekend, and then hopefully we get some cold temps. I mean, we're eager. Once we get rolling, we want to just hammer out 24 hours a day with these snowmakers, get it done and over with, and hopefully Mother Nature will give us a little bit of a blessing out here and give us some snow.
The weather and hill conditions were perfect for the local skiers and snowboarders who went down the hill time and time again. We spoke to some skiers who said they've been waiting all year to be back on the slopes.
Well, Baldy's the best.
That's right. We're happy to be out again for another season on the hill.
Yeah, it's really good. Otherwise I'd just be sitting home on a rainy day, so it's good to get outside, and they put a lot of good effort putting the rails up on the first day, so not many skiers will do that on the first day, so it's really awesome.
And Cardis has high hopes for this upcoming season.
People are loving it. We expanded the parking lot now, so we got lots more room and did lots of renovations in the chalet and moved a lot of stuff on the mountain when it comes to snowmaking, made some new snowmaking lines in the ground and power lines, and also we did some new couple runs up on the mountain, so I think people will be stoked to check it out.
Jessica Clement, TBT News.